Namaste and welcome to Vinyasa Flow Yoga. My name is Michelle Chua, and for today, we're going to physically be practicing wide-legged postures, combination of hip openers and forward folds. So grab a couple of blocks, you might find them useful, as well as a strap, and I invite you to start in a wide-legged seated position. Some kind of cross-legged posture that works for you. You can also elevate your pelvis up on top of a couple of blocks to give your hips some ease if they're feeling tight. Take a moment to look around your space, visually orient yourself, not only physically, but mentally arriving in your yoga practice. A while back, we explored the theme of ahimsa, which is non-harm, the very first practice of the first limb of yoga. Today, I want to explore the second practice of the first limb of yoga. It's still within the category of yamas, observances, ways that we can live in harmony with the world around us. So the word satya has many translations. It can mean honesty, being genuine, authenticity, being truthful with ourselves and with others, having true intentions, having integrity. You do what you say what you do, your words align with your actions and your beliefs. Not misleading others or deceiving others or ourselves, or not obscuring the truth. How does this look like in our practice of yoga? What do you need from your practice today? Try to discern what you think you want from what you truly need. If what you truly need is to lie down for an hour in Shavasana, be courageous enough to do that. If it is to come out of the pose, be brave and either lie down or try a different variation. Remember, it takes more energy to resist our truths than to follow them, even if it does create initial friction. I'm going to repeat that last line because I think it's so important. Remember, it takes more energy to resist our truths than to follow them, even if it does create initial friction. Let's take a moment to pause at the beginning of our practice and check in with what's true for you as you arrive. Begin by mentally scanning your physical body. Being honest with what you are observing about your body right now in sensations. Also including ahimsa, right? Non-harm, not having to judge yourself or your body, but just being open to observing. As you feel your breathing and notice the quality of the breath, what's true about your energy right now? And how will you align with your truth and promote balance, harmony through this practice? Notice your state of mind and heart. Start to deepen the breath. Letting the inhale fill up your belly, fill up the four walls of your rib cage. Emptying it, you might audibly sigh through your mouth. Taking the time to reach the very top of the in-breath and sensing the bottom of the out breath. What is something right now you can offer gratitude for? Making gratitude a regular part of our practice. And now clarify what you choose to cultivate through today's practice, setting your intention. What do you need based on what is true for you right now? And as we look beyond ourselves, think of those around you, and I invite you to choose someone or something to dedicate today's practice to, making an offering of your practice for their benefit. And together, let's join our voices, chanting Om 3 times. As you slow down the breath, balancing the length of inhale with the length of exhale, I invite you to close the lips and create some internal heat to warm up your body for movement, practicing Ujjayi Pranayama by creating a soft whispering sound to the breath. It's done by gently narrowing the back of your throat. Listen to that sound a few times here. Listening for a smooth quality, a gentleness, an evenness to the breath. And let's make our way into downward facing dog. Allow a few breaths to let your body move any way you need to loosen up. Spread the fingers flat. Roll the triceps towards the mat and lift the shoulders and hips back as you drop your head loose. Inhale, sweep your right leg behind you. Exhale, bend your right knee and turn out your right thigh at the hip. Staying here, inhale, draw the left hip back. Then exhale, step your right foot softly beside your right thumb. Lower your left knee and tuck the toes. Come up on your fingertips, framing your right leg with hands on blocks or the ground. As you inhale, sink your hips, gaze up, relaxing your shoulders. Keep your feet where they are, and as you exhale, lift your left knee, draw your right hip back towards straightening the legs as you fold. Again, inhale, kneeling lunge, flowing to the breath. Exhale, pyramid pose. 3 more cycles. Inhale. Exhale. Breathing in, lunge. Breathing out, pyramid. 1 more cycle. Then and step back to downward facing dog. Pause, let the body be still as you steady your gaze, your drishti for 2 breaths. Listen in. Then inhale, raise your left leg behind you. Exhale, bend the knee and rotate your thigh externally at the hip. Staying here. Inhale, tack the right hip back. Exhale, softly land your left foot beside your left thumb. Lower your right knee, tucking the toes. Inhale, look up, kneeling lunge. Exhale, lift the right knee, draw your left hip back as you straighten your legs to your degree and fold. Again, inhale, kneeling lunge. Exhale, pyramid pose. Listen to your breathing and continue at your pace for 3 more cycles of breath. This time, after the last pyramid pose, bend your front knee, look forward, and step your right foot forward so your feet are hips distance apart at the front of your mat. Parallel your feet and press your fingertips on blocks or the ground. Inhale, lengthen your spine halfway up into Ardha Uttanasana. Exhale, bow, relax the neck, Uttanasana. Press down through your feet. Inhale, sweep your arms forward, rising to the top. Urdhva Hastasana. Exhale, join your palms in prayer at your heart center, Padasana. Reconnect with the feeling tone of your intention, what you're cultivating in this practice today. And let's salute the sun with gratitude. Surya Namaskar Si. Inhale, sweep your arms overhead, roll your shoulders back. Exhale, hinge forward from your hips. Plant your fingertips on the ground or on blocks. Inhale, step the left knee behind you, kneeling lunge, gaze up. Hold your breath as you step to plank. Exhale, lower knees, chest, then chin, Ashtangasana. Inhale, slide forward, entering Cobra, rooting down through the tops of your feet. Exhale, lift your hips back into downward facing dog. Inhale, step your left foot beside your left thumb. Lower your right knee and gaze up. Exhale, step your right foot forward and bow. Rooting down through your feet. Inhale, rise with your breath. Exhale, hands together at the heart. Side 2. Inhale, Urdhva Hastasana, gaze up. Exhale, Uttanasana, forward fold. Inhale, step the right knee back, kneeling lunge. Hold your breath as you step to plank. Exhale, lower knees, then chest, then chin. Inhale, slide through to Cobra. Exhale, Adho Mukha Svanasana, downward facing dog. Inhale, step right foot beside right thumb. Lower the left knee, look up. Exhale, step your left foot forward and bow. Inhale, rise. Exhale, recenter, palms in prayer. Deep breath in. And exhale all of it out. Sun salutation A. Inhale, Urdhva Hastasana. Exhale, Uttanasana. Press your blocks to the ground. Inhale, Ardha Uttanasana. Step back to plank. This time as you firm in the belly, glide forward and exhale, graze your elbows by your ribs, lowering through Chaturanga Dandasana. Choose to lower into Cobra or lower halfway into upward facing dog, which takes it further. Exhale to downward facing dog. Let the body be still as you steady your gaze for 2 deep breaths. When you've emptied the second breath, walk or float to the front of your mat into a forward fold. Inhale, half forward fold. Exhale, fold. Inhale, rise, Urdhva Hastasana. Exhale, hands in prayer in mountain pose. Once more. Inhale, Urdhva Hastasana. Exhale, Uttanasana. Inhale, Ardha Uttanasana. Either step to plank or float to Chaturanga if you normally practice that. Take it through your Vinyasa. Downward dog, 2 deep breaths. On empty, walk or float to the front of your mat. Inhale, Ardha Uttanasana. Exhale, Uttanasana. Inhale, Urdhva Hastasana. Exhale, hands to the heart. Let's take it through Sun Salutation B. Bending your knees, feet together, knees together. Inhale to chair pose. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, half forward fold. Step or float. Take it through your Vinyasa here. When you arrive in downward dog, inhale, raise your right leg back. Exhale the foot beside right thumb. Spin your left heel down. Inhale, rise to warrior one. Exhale all the way down, Vinyasa. Downward facing. Inhale, raise your left leg back. Exhale the foot beside your left thumb. Spin your right heel down. Inhale to Virabhadrasana 1. Exhale, Vinyasa. Downward facing. Let's be still for 3 to 5 deep breaths. When your breath feels smooth and steady again, empty it, then walk or float to the front of your mat. Inhale, Ardha Uttanasana. Exhale, Uttanasana. Inhale, chair or Utkatasana. Exhale, rise up to mountain pose. One more, Surya Namaskar B. Inhale, chair. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, lengthen forward. Take it through your Vinyasa. Downward facing, start with your right leg, follow your breath pace. Take it all the way through, warrior one. And down to your Vinyasa. Keep going to side 2. Once again, pause in downward dog, slowing down, rebalancing your energy by rebalancing the lengths of your in and out breaths. What does your body need right now? How are you practicing honoring your truth? Satya. Knowing if you need to rest, take it. If you need to add intensity, take it. When you're ready to, empty the breath, then walk or jump. Inhale, half forward fold. Exhale, fold. Inhale, chair. Exhale, mountain pose. All right, let's turn to face the wide width of your mat. And you may want to have a couple of blocks with you. If you like to use them for forward fold, wide-legged, or triangle pose. And if you're not sure, bring your blocks. Start by stepping your feet wide apart and parallel to each other, placing the blocks in front of you like this. Bring your hands to your hips and inhale, roll your shoulders back. Now, as you exhale, shift your weight forward and start to hinge from your hips, aligning your hips with your ankles so they're not behind your ankles. You can bend the knees any amount here. Try to cultivate the feeling of a flat back rather than rounding the shoulders. Now, hands can land on the blocks or on the floor, whatever you can reach well. Press down with your hands and inhale, press your chest through your upper arms, drawing your shoulder blades back. Exhale, continue to fold. Now, if there's room to walk your hands further back, lowering the crown of your head towards the earth. As you press your hands downward, lift your shoulders upward, creating more length in your neck. This posture in Sanskrit is called Prasarita Padottanasana, or wide-legged forward fold. Let's stay for just 3 more deep breaths. Now walk your fingertips forward, lengthen your spine forward. And let's place the 2 blocks behind your calves on their tallest height. Bring your hands to your hips again and bend your knees. Point your elbows to the sky and lead with your chest. Inhale to slowly rise. Now I'm not going to mirror you here, so just be aware. From your left hip socket, turn in your left leg about 45 degrees and turn out your right leg 90 degrees, aligning your right heel to the arch of your left foot. With the legs straight, open your arms wide and relax your shoulders. Triangle pose. Glide your hips towards your left heel and lengthen your torso towards your right toes. Lowering the right fingertips either on your right shin, the block, or the floor, just to the right side of your right shin, and reaching the left arm straight up. How is your breath here? Spiral your chest slightly to face the sky, steadying your gaze on one point for the last 3 breaths here in Trikonasana. Now let's play with balancing, taking the shape to balance on one foot for Ardha Chandrasana. Now, without speeding up, let your transition be just as important to take your time in. Look down at the floor ahead of your right toes and steady your breathing. Crawl your right fingertips onto your block or the floor, about 6 inches ahead of your right pinky toe out to the right corner. Drag your left foot forward, flexing it off the ground. Open your chest and steady your gaze. Half moon pose. Last breath here. Leave your block where it is and softly step your left foot back to the ground. And let's come on up to stand. With this wide-legged stance, parallel your feet. Start at neutral. Now turn your right leg inward 45 degrees. Turn your left leg outward 90 degrees. Align your left heel to intersect the arch of your right foot and open your arms. Relax your shoulders. With your breath steady, glide your hips towards your right heel, lengthen your torso past the left toes, and lower the left fingertips onto your left shin or the ground or a block just to the left of it. Raising the right arm up, spin your chest slightly to face the sky, steadying your gaze on one point. So in this case, this Trikonasana posture, in practicing Satya, how are you taking the variation of the pose and using props as needed so that you and your body can benefit the most? Honoring your body's truth in this situation. Let's prepare for half moon pose. Gaze at the ground ahead of your left toes. Keep the breath going. Crawl the left fingertips onto your block of the floor about 6 inches ahead of your left pinky toe and out to the left. Drag your right foot in, flex it off the ground, and recreate the triangle shape. Steadying your gaze. Ardha Chandrasana. Take your time, softly step the right foot back to the ground. And from here, let's parallel the feet once again. This time, bring your hands behind you to clasp. Roll the shoulders back, breathe in. Exhale, forward fold. Let your head completely fall. You might even shake it out a few times. As your hands stay together, stretch the arms forward and lift the shoulders away from your neck. Release your fingertips down and crawl your hands to the front of your mat. Pivot to face the front in a lunge. Step back to plank pose and either take a full vinyasa or cat-cow to the pace of your breath. Back to downward facing dog. Empty this breath. Look ahead of your fingertips. Now visualize that you're going to land your feet on the outer sides of your hands, coming into some version of malasana, a squat. So walk or float the feet apart. So you're turning out the legs from the hip sockets. Some of us might be way up here like a horse stance. If so, have a wider stance so your knees are not folding over the toes, but they're in line with your ankles. You can have your hands on your thighs. Some of us might find our bodies are comfortable with the pelvis sinking. It just depends on your body and what feels open to you. Again, honor your truth. You might, if you're down here, use your elbows to splay open the inner thighs and join your hands in prayer at the heart. Let's tune into a couple more deep breaths, balancing it out as we slow it down. Press down to your feet. While we're here, you might grab a strap because you might use it for hand to big toe pose. Press down with your feet, take a deep breath in, and then exhale, rise up like an elevator. All right, let's step the feet apart. And I won't mirror you here. So take the strap in your right hand and bring your feet together in mountain pose. Place your hands onto your 2 frontal hip bones and notice that when your 2 feet are on the ground, your 2 hips are generally balanced, like a seesaw that's balanced on both sides. Now, when we lift a leg, naturally that leg will hike up the hip like this. So that will throw us off balance. So when you lift the leg, you want to keep drawing the sitting bone down towards the standing foot. All right. So you might use a strap, you might not. You might just wear it as a scarf to begin with to see if you'll want to use it. So with the hands in the hip, engage the belly and steady your gaze. Really important, keep the balance in your breath. Listen to it. to soothe your mind. Flex your right foot and bend the knee in front of you. Notice if the hip is hiking up. Draw the right sitting bone down towards the inner left heel. Now, if you're already feeling a lot of challenge in your balance, don't straighten the leg, just hold the knee and you'll take the posture like this. Otherwise, you can either use the strap around the big toe, the ball of your foot, with your right arm on the inner side of your right leg like this, and begin to kick the foot away as you pull the strap towards you. Or if you can keep your spine completely upright and clasp the big toe, you can take hand to big toe version like this. Now take a moment. If you are extending the leg, raise the left arm, keep balancing your two hips and stand taller and taller as you breathe in. Feel the balance in your breath. If you're feeling challenged in balancing right now, don't go any further. Just stay here. Otherwise, start to rotate the right leg externally, abduct or move it away from your midline, as well as the left arm. Standing taller as you breathe in, relaxing into the pose as you breathe out. Now, if your balance feels pretty steady, you can add another challenge, which is gazing over your left shoulder. Now, if you add too many challenges at once and you haven't listened to your body, back off and go to the level before it. Remember, this is part of practicing wisely and truthfully, is really noticing, okay, what's my body ready for today? Couple more deep breaths in hand to big toe pose, or Uttita Hasta Parangushtasana. Start to bring the right leg forward. All right, we're going to keep balancing here. If the knee is bent, hold the outer knee with the left hand. Otherwise, switch hands holding the strap or hold the outer foot with the left hand. Use your right thumb and hook the crease of your right outer hip down, keeping the hips balanced. Kick into your hand if you're holding the foot and pull the foot at the same time. Stand a little taller as you breathe in. Keep the pelvis still. And as you breathe out, start to twist to your right side. Stand a little taller as you breathe in. Exhale, continue to twist. Maybe you extend the right arm behind you. If your balance feels stable enough, you might look behind you. A few more breaths in twisting, hand to big toe pose, or Parita, Uttita Hasta Parangushtasana. Stay in the posture, look forward, breathe in, and step it down, mountain pose. Take a pause, maybe rest a hand at the heart center, a hand at the lower belly, and close the eyes. Tune into a couple deep breaths. What feedback is your body giving you right now? Our bodies never lie. They are just meant to practice truth, satya. All right, let's prepare for the second side. So if you know that you're going to use a strap or you think you might, you can wear it as a scarf. Let's bring the hands to the hips, feet together. Take a moment here to steady your gaze, activate your lower belly, balance the sound of your breath. Take your time. Bend the left knee in front of you and flex the foot. Pause, balance your hips. Hold the left knee with the left hand or bring the left arm inside the leg and wrap the strap around the ball of the foot or clasp the big toe. Steady the breath. If you're going to extend the leg, kick it away as you pull it towards you, keeping that shoulder in its socket. Right arm to the sky, few breaths to feel stable. Stay here or add, rotating the left thigh externally at the hip, then slowly abducting the left leg and the right arm away from your midline. How's the breath? Stay here or add, looking over your right shoulder as you steady your gaze for a last few breaths in this hip opening version. Now begin to bring the left leg forward, switch hands holding the strap or the knee, or take the outer foot. Keep kicking the foot away as you pull it and use your left thumb. Hook the crease of your left outer hip down and stand a little taller as you breathe in. Keep the legs still and twist to the left as you breathe out. You might add reaching the left arm behind you. You might add looking behind you. Last couple of breaths. Start to look forward. Set the left foot to meet the right. Once again, be still and take a moment to notice the feedback your body is giving you. All right, let's step to the top of the mat and take our last vinyasa. Inhale, sweep the arms overhead, Urdhva Hastasana. Exhale, forward fold, Uttanasana. Inhale, Ardha Uttanasana. Take it to your form of vinyasa. Pause for a few breaths in child's pose this time. Let's slide the hands back towards the outer knees, and with an inhale, roll your spine upright to sit. Taking our last 3 back bends in bridge pose. Come on down to your back, bend your knees and step your feet on the ground, hips distance apart. Parallel your feet to each other and ground your shoulders. Empty the breath and inhale, lift your hips, keep your feet still as you stretch your thighs forward. Stay for about 5 breaths in this posture before gently lowering on an exhale. Walk your arms close together under your back ribs and keep your arms straight. If your hands touch, you might interlace your fingers. Setu Bandha Sarvangasana, bridge pose. Make sure to tilt your chin slightly back to open your throat, allowing the breath to flow. When you have lowered your pelvis, just be still for a couple deep breaths before we take round 2. And when you're ready, take it on your own, round 2. If you want to add a variation, add a little challenge, try to keep your 2 hips even as you start to lift one leg straight up, staying a few breaths before you switch legs. As you transition to the opposite leg, try to keep the hips still, not seesawing them up and down. Once you finish round 2, again, rest for a couple of breaths and take your last bridge pose. Or if you're feeling it, upward facing bow, if you normally practice that and your shoulders feel open, Urdhva Dhanurasana. Last one on your own. Let's meet in supine bound angle pose, lying flat on your back and dropping your bent knees apart so that the soles of your feet come together. If your knees are lifting away from the ground, you can place a block under each outer knee for support. You might rest a hand at your heart center and a hand at your lower belly as we now enter a calming, cooling breathing technique that helps to just bring more yin energy of cooling down and slowing down and turning our attention deeper inward. And that breathing style goes like this. We'll inhale into the belly for 5 counts through the nose. And we'll exhale through the lips, softening the belly and relaxing the body deeper. Let's try a few rounds together. Empty this breath. Close the lips. Inhale, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Exhale, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Inhale, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Exhale, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Inhale, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Exhale, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Count a couple more cycles on your own. You can continue to just lengthen the exhales longer than the inhales without counting, just intuitively if you prefer. As we bring the hands to the outer thighs and gently draw the knees close together like you're closing a book. Let's prepare for a supine spinal twist. Either draw your bent knees together, or to deepen the twist, wrap your right leg over your left leg, sort of like eagle pose. Slide your hips towards the right edge of your mat and open your right arm wide on the floor. Grounding that shoulder, lift your feet and begin to drop your knees slowly to your left. Try to keep the right shoulder grounded. So if it rises, back off on the twist. Let's come back to center. If your legs are crossed, switch the cross of the leg. Slide your hips towards the left edge of your mat. Open your left arm wide, grounding that shoulder, lift your feet, and begin to drop your knees slowly to the right, only as far as the left shoulder stays grounded. Again, there's that practice of satya, being honest with yourself and how flexible your spine feels. Let's come back to center and bend your knees towards your outer shoulders. Take hold of your outer feet into happy baby, or straddle the legs wide like a supine version of Upavishta Konasana, a wide-legged posture. In either of those two postures, ground your tailbone, head, and shoulders to help lengthen your spine. Then gently begin to make your way up to sit for one more posture before Shavasana. Paschimottanasana. So ground your sitting bones, separate your feet hips distance, and flex your feet. You can use a strap as an extension of your arms, placing it around the balls of your feet like this, or raise the arms and eventually clasp the big toes. As long as you can keep your shoulders relaxed away from your neck and your chest slightly lifted, breathe in, sit up a little taller, and exhale, hinge forward from your hips, taking it breath by breath. pressing down through your sitting bones. Inhale, slowly rise. As you come down into corpse pose, if you would like support for your lower back, you can place your blocks on their medium height like this under the creases of your knees. Separating your feet hips distance, or actually wider than hips distance. So take a moment to set up so that your body can feel as relaxed as possible to be still, and you can drop your attention deeper inward. Letting go of controlling the breath, you might take one last deep sigh. Shavasana. As you rest a little longer where you are with eyes closed, come back to noticing how your body feels. Does it feel any different since before this practice? Take your time to gently move your body, starting with something small and subtle, like rubbing your thumbs across your fingertips, letting one movement inspire another. Gradually turning over onto your right side and resting your head. Spend a few moments observing your breath, just as it is. What do you notice about your energy? Take your time to rise up slowly and find a comfortable way to sit for our 5 minutes sitting in meditation. You might close your eyes, place your hands in a mudra of your choice, such as Gyan Mudra, thumb and index fingers touching, palms face up on your lap, or stacking the right palm over the left, palms face up on the center of your lap, with thumb tips touching. Let's begin. You might first rest your awareness on the breath as it naturally comes and goes. If your attention goes astray, gently come back to the breath. Notice how you feel in your mind and heart. And I invite you to a moment of gratitude taking the time to appreciate anything that comes to your heart. And then remind yourself what your intention again is for this practice and beyond this practice. Remember to whom or what you dedicated today's practice. And let's close chanting the sacred sound, Om, 3 times. The light in me honors the light in you. Namaste.